Kristo Muthamaki. As the liturgical year draws to a close, we celebrate the feast of Christ the King, a solemnity that places the spotlight on one of Christianity's most defining claims, that Jesus Christ is the true and eternal King of the universe. Observed on the final Sunday before Advent, the feast serves as a culmination of the Church's spiritual calendar, drawing together the themes of discipleship, hope, and the ultimate victory of good over evil. The celebration, marked by white and gold vestments and a distinctly triumphant tone, invites the faithful to reflect not on a power in the political sense, but on a kingship rooted in service, truth, and sacrificial love. The story behind the feast is as striking as its message. It was established in the year 1925 by Pope Pius XI through the encyclical Quas Primas, at a time when Europe was still reeling from the devastation of World War I. Political tensions were high, dictatorships were emerging, and secular ideologies were gaining traction. Concerned by the rising pressures on religious freedom and the diminishing space for moral authority, Pope Pius XI introduced the Feast of Christ the King as a bold reminder that no worldly power, no empire, government, or ideology could claim absolute rule over the human spirit. By elevating Christ's kingship, the Pope aimed to counter the cultural drift away from faith and anchor society once again in principles of justice, peace, and divine authority. Today, the feast carries the same resonance, though applied to a very different landscape. In many parishes, celebrations include solemn masses, processions, and community gatherings. Some churches hold renewal prayers, dedicating homes and families to Christ's reign. Others highlight acts of service and solidarity with the poor, reflecting the Gospel's image of a king who identifies with the least of these. Choirs often prepare for weeks in advance, filling sanctuaries with hymns that echo themes of triumph and hope. While the imagery of crowns, thrones, and royal banners may appear symbolic, the message behind the feast remains unmistakably practical. Christ's kingship, the Church teaches, is not about domination, but about transformation. It is a role characterized by humility rather than hierarchy, compassion rather than conquest. In Christ, the Church says leadership is redefined through service and power is expressed through love, an idea that stands in stark contrast to the political rhetoric and cultural divisions that shape modern society. For many believers, this annual celebration is more than a theological statement. It is a grounding moment. As the year winds down and global tensions continue to rise, the Feast of Christ the King offers a reminder that faith points towards a different kind of kingdom, one built not on human ambition, but on enduring values. It encourages Christians to evaluate where their loyalties truly lie and to allow Christ's teaching to guide their decisions, priorities, and relationships. As parishes prepare to observe the feast this Sunday, the message remains as stirring as ever. Amid shifting politics, social unrest, and personal challenges, the Christian proclamation endures. Christ is the King, and his kingdom is one of justice, truth, and peace. And with Advent just around the corner, the celebration sets the tone for a new year of hope, anticipation, and renewal.